I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 414. Mr. G.V. Subbaramaya, a devotee, has written some short poems which are interesting. Some of them refer to a child. Sri Bhagavan said, God becomes a child and vice versa. That means that the samskaras are yet latent in the child, and thus its innocence is complete. When they are eradicated, even a grown-up man becomes a child once again, and thus remains God. The author said, the child creates the home atmosphere. Sri Bhagavan, yes, the children are always in the home. We too are there, but are dreaming and imagining we are outside the home. Sri Bhagavan added, I have rendered the word youth, yuva, in Dakshinamurti Sutra by child, bala. This seems more appropriate. To be reborn is to become children over again. One must be reborn before gaining jnana, that is, recovering the natural state. This dialogue revolves around the concepts of innocence, the true nature of the self, and the significance of returning to a childlike state to attain enlightenment, or jnana. The questioner, Mr. G.V. Subramaya, a devotee, shares some short poems that include references to a child. Ramana Maharshi responds by explaining the profound spiritual implications of this imagery. Ramana starts by saying that God becomes a child and vice versa. This means that in a child, the samskaras, mental impressions, are still latent. The child's innocence is complete because these impressions have not yet manifested. As we grow, these impressions influence our thoughts, actions, and perceptions, distancing us from our true nature. However, when a person eradicates these samskaras, they regain the innocence of a child, essentially becoming like a child again. In this state, a person can experience their true nature as pure consciousness, synonymous with God. The discussion continues with the idea that children create a home atmosphere. Here, Ramana emphasizes that children naturally remain in a state of innocence and presence, akin to being at home in their true nature. Adults, on the other hand, often lose this sense of home as they get caught up in dreams and imaginations, thinking they are outside their true self. Essentially, we are always our true nature, our home, but our mind creates the illusion that we're elsewhere. This is the sense of separation that is at the root of the urge for spiritual practice. Further, Ramana explains his translation choice in the Dakshinamurti Shotra, where he interprets youth, yuva, as child, bala. This translation underscores the appropriateness of viewing spiritual rebirth as returning to the state of a child. To gain jnana, or spiritual knowledge, you must undergo a rebirth, shedding the layers of mental conditioning and returning to a state of pure, unconditioned being. The Maharshi's insights that true spiritual growth involves a return to simplicity and innocence. By eradicating the mental impression, habits, and false identities accumulated over time, we can reconnect with our true self, which is naturally pure and untouched by the complexities of the mind. This dialogue underscores the importance of self-inquiry in this process. Through self-inquiry, we examine and dissolve these layers, gradually returning to the pure state symbolized by the child. Ramana Maharshi teaches that enlightenment is not about acquiring new knowledge or experience, but about rediscovering and returning to our original state of being, which is always present, but often obscured by the mind's illusions. So, know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment